Okay, friends, enemies, whatever you are, welcome to part three of where I'm discussing what is the synagogue of Satan and the false Jews. So, in the second part, I just talked a little bit briefly about Semite, and the Ashkenazi Jews. And what is happening is that after the flood, the three sons of Noah, Sem, Ham, and Japheth, they reproduced and they spread all over the world. And the Bible actually gives distinct details about this stuff. So if we go to Genesis, the first book in the Bible, and then we can see that from verse 10, let's see, yeah, go from verse 10. You should read everything in the book of Genesis, obviously. So this is after the flood, and then yeah, let's read that from chapter 10. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So they had one wife each. And unto them were sons born after the flood. Verse 2, chapter 10. The sons of Japheth. So they start with Japheth first. Gomer and Magog and Madal and Yawan and Tubal and Meshech and Tirash. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, verse 3, Ashkenaz, okay, and Rifat and Togarma, etc. So you see already there is Ashkenaz, and it's not a son of Sem or Shem, it's a son of Japhet. Okay, so then verse 6, and the sons of Ham, in Norwegian we call it Ham. I don't know why they say Ham. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim and Put and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba and Havilah and Sabta and Rama and Sabteka. And the sons of Rama, Sheba and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. So, if you know a little bit about Nimrod, he was a very important person, and he was probably the leader of the idolatry and also pushing for the construction of the Tower of Babel. So he was probably their religious and political leader, Nimrod. So Nimrod, he was born from the bloodline of Ham. Okay, and then we can go to verse 20. These are the sons. No, so not Ham. No, sorry. Verse 21. Verse 21. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam and Ashur and Aphaxad and Lud and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz and Hul and Gether and Mash. And Aphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. And unto Eber was born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Okay, we can go continue a little bit there just for fun. We can see verse 29. And Ophir and Havilah and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. Okay, then if we go to chapter 11, it talks about the construction of the Tower of Babel, and God go down and he confuses the people, and then he spread them. So, verse 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the languages of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. Now, in verse 10, he is continuing to talk about Shem. Okay, Semites, Shem. The Semites are the bloodline of Sem or Shem. Okay, so Genesis chapter 11, verse 10. He is continuing. He already talked before in the previous chapter, but he's continuing now in chapter 11, verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begot Arphaxad 500 years and begot sons and daughters. Okay, so you continue down here, you see until you go until verse 25. And Nahor lived after he begot Terah 119 years and begot sons and daughters. And Terah, that is interesting. Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram. So when Terah, the man Terah was 70 years old, he got Abram, which is later given the name Abraham. Okay. Nahor and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees. So that was the nativity country. It was Ur, which is in the land of the Chaldees, Mesopotamia. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and the father of Ishka. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there, and the days of Terah were 250 years, and Terah died in Haran. Now we come to chapter 12. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. So God, Yahuwah, spoke now to Abram. Oh, wow. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curses thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And so forth. So you can continue to read there by yourself, but let's go to verse 6. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Sichem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, Unto thy seed will I give this land. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord Yahuwah, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west and Hai on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of Yahuwah. And Abraham journeyed going on still down toward the south, and there was a famine and so forth. So he went for a while to Egypt, but then he came back. And let's go to chapter 13 and from verse 14. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. Okay, so it is very obvious that the Ashkenazi were children of Japhet, not of Shem. So you see here is already the falsification going. The promise of this land was given to Abram and his seeds. Okay, and so the land which is depicted is of course very huge, very huge. It's not only what today is called Palestine, it's what is today called Jordan, and down even, yeah, a huge plot there that is given to the seed of Abram, which name later got the name Abraham, father of many nations. And it says that in his seed shall all families of the earth be blessed. Chapter 12, verse 3. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. How is that possible? Because God, Yahweh, promised Abraham that he will have a son, not with Hagar. That was a mistake, probably a big bad mistake. With Sarai, his half sister, actually. Sarai was his half sister. So when he was very old guy and she was very old, they were supposed to be unable to reproduce. Then they got the son of the promise, Isaac. Okay, Isaac. And from Isaac, uh, you have Jacob. Okay, Jacob and Esau, the twin brothers, but they look very different from each other. And so God did not like Esau at all. And Esau, he was very hairy, had reddish skin, reddish hair, probably. But Jacob, God loved Jacob, and so Jacob uh, became the patriarch for the 12 tribes of Israel because God gave him the name. Jacob means the smart one who's trying to trick and do something like he's smart ass. That is what Jacob means. God said, I will give you the name Israel, the one who fought with God and succeeded because he had a supernatural encounter with probably an angel in the desert, and he fought with them. And so after that, he got the name Israel, the man who fight with God. And so Jacob, he was supposed to have one wife, but his father-in-law Laban, he tricked him. So when he woke up after the wedding night, he found out that, oh, I have been sleeping with Leah, the sister of the one I love. So he had two wives, and then Leah, she always got pregnant and had kids, but Rachel, she did not have kids. She didn't get pregnant. So Rachel gave him one of her maid servants to make babies with her, and then Leah did the same. There was a competition between his two wives, the two sisters, on how to get enough, who will win the competition of having enough or most babies. So the result was finally 12 boys, 12 sons. And these are the sons of Israel, sons of Jacob. Okay, so it has nothing to do with Ishmael. Okay? And God didn't say to thy seeds will I give this land. No, no, here to thy seed. Thy seed, that means uh, the seed coming from Jacob. And that is why Jesus is talking about the God of Abraham and Jacob, you know. So, oh God, Israel's good, the God of Israel. So here we have some very interesting thing because you have now these imposters who are from Japhet, who lived basically in the north, and they claim to be Jews. And there, if you study Judaism and Talmud, you will realize it's a very, very, very evil concept, very evil and full of idolatry, full of occultism, full of devilishness. That is why Jesus said they call themselves Jews, but they are the synagogue of Satan. So I'm gonna refer again now to the book of Arthur Koestler, the Hungarian Jew who wrote some books, and one of them is the 13th tribe. The 13th tribe. So he belonged to the Ashkenazi Jews, okay, and you know the Hitler and the Nazis, they hated these Jews and they wanted to eradicate them, and they were hated by so many, by the way. Also the Muslims, they hated them, and they still hate them today. And there's probably a reason why. So I'm not condemning individuals here. I'm just talking in the biggest spectrum. And then if you read the 13th book of 13th tribe of Arthur Koestler, he is giving a lot of history. People say it's all fairy tales what he came up with, but I don't think so. I don't think so. He has a lot of sources also. So he's explaining how this tribe with the nomads up there in Central Asia, how they were fierce warriors and they even became friendly with the Vikings because the Vikings were fierce warriors and also the Khazars were fierce warriors. So then they made Judaism a state religion later on, but they basically disappeared from the land around 1200 AD, totally chased out by the Mongols and spread around. But let's go. So these are the Ashkenazi Jews. Let's go back to what happened in the year 70 AD when the temple in Jerusalem was destroyed. And Jesus said in Luke chapter 21, let's see what it says here. Luke chapter 21. Hmm. So it says here that he is talking about what happened a few years after he prophesied this. So let's go and see. Uh, he's talking about from verse 20 about the destruction of Jerusalem, the temple. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. It's near. The destruction of Jerusalem is near when you say it's compassed by armies. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. So if you're on the countryside, don't go into the city. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Let's stop there. So we just briefly discussed it earlier that these were these people were basically going down into Africa, Ethiopia and Africa. Okay, so not to Northern Europe, not northeast from Judea. They went down south through Egypt and down into Africa. So what happened with them later on is they were taken as slaves. Not all Africans were taken as slaves. There were the specific tribes that came all the way from Judea back in the day, who had their own Judaic religion, based on the Old Testament, based on the scriptures. Even some of them, obviously, probably were Christians already, believing in Messiah. And so they were basically living in certain areas, and they did not mingle too much with the other local population there. So when it came to the slave trade, those other tribes, they would love to catch and sell these Judaios, these Jews, the real Jews, sent them overseas. They sent them, of course, to Arab countries, and they sent them to European nations. They sent them over to the United States. Now, this is very controversial. And at first, I laughed about it when I heard about it, that the blacks claim that they are the American Africans. They claim that they are the true Jews, the true Israelites. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. But again, Israel is 12 tribes. I come from Norway, and just south of Norway, we have Denmark. Denmark. The mark means field, the field of Dan. Dan, okay, that is the land of Dan in England. So there are many rumors that suggest that the Apostle Peter went up to Great Britain and traveled to preach there, because he was supposed to preach to the 12 tribes, and they knew where the 12 tribes were. So it's a big possibility that actually the Scandinavian people, some of the British guys, that we are descendants also of the 12 tribes, which is very interesting. But the thing here is, which is very interesting, it says that Jerusalem shall be trodden down, it shall be stepped down of the Gentiles. It means like they're not going to really respect the place until the times of Gentiles be fulfilled. Now, a Gentile is those who are not a part of the Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. Those are the Gentiles. So you would say, okay, but Israel became a nation in 1948, and they took Jerusalem in the war in 1967. They took East Jerusalem, and so now Jerusalem is under the control of the people of God. No, because the time of the Gentiles has not come to an end yet, right? So still today, and this is very interesting, still today, Jerusalem, the city of Jerusalem, is trodden down by Gentiles who claim they are Jews, and they are not. Okay, so this is very interesting to know. And so the black guys, even today, there are some people in Africa, obviously, who are part of the tribes of Israel. So you have the what in Nigeria, for example, you have the guys there, the Igbo, they call them Igbo, and yeah, you have different, like in Ethiopia, probably different segments there. And these guys, they are gonna come back to Israel. Okay, you have people in the Middle East, in like I said, the Kurds, and you have the people in the Philippines. So they're actually basically all over the world, and God will bring them back. But today, still, Jerusalem is under the control of Gentiles, not the people of God. So this is. But I will not say that I'm not happy about what is happening in Palestine. But I think it's a totally unbiblical situation, because those people who claim to be the people of God, who claim to be the owners of that land, they are imposters, in my opinion. Ashkenazi Jews, they are not Semites. So if you attack them, they call you anti-Semite. But how can you be anti-Semite when you are actually anti-Japhet? So this is very serious, and I don't say that okay, the Muslim. I mean, the Muslims, Islam is a false religion because it refuses to believe that Jesus is the Son of God. That is the main cornerstone of our faith, that Jesus is God manifest in flesh. Okay, so the Muslims, they don't accept that Jesus is the Son of God. They refuse that he was crucified. They refuse that he died. So many very central things in the from the Christian religion has been attacked by uh, Islam. But let's look at the country of Israel today. You have like they say, I have not, never been there, but they say that there are so many homosexuals especially in Tel Aviv. Like Tel Aviv is the world capital of homosexuality. Now, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for that reason, and God is not very happy with all this stuff going on there. And then there was this rave party in the middle of the night, mixing all kind of probably like orgies and music and drugs and all the stuff in the Holy Land. You think God is very happy about what's happening there? Of course not. But His time will come. But God is a peace-loving God. He is good. He is good all the time. Okay, so these people, the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy, because Jesus came to give us life and life abundantly. But you have to turn to the Bible and stop supporting these Ashkenazi Jews. Why should, even if they were real Jews, why should you support them when they are mocking Jesus? They are mocking Jesus. Why would you? Yeah, they are the people of God. No, no, there is no free entrance, like a special door for the Jews. No, no, no. You have to be saved through Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He is the door, and He's the only way that leads to God the Father. God bless you. Thank you for your attention.